Welcome back, guys, to another video. This is going to be about Coach Prime, the recent news that's surrounding him. Nothing major, nothing like big or breaking, but it just goes with what I've been telling you guys about his mindset, about his personality, and about where his passions lie. I don't think his passion is totally about football in a sense. It's just it's fragmented into so many different parts, and I mean, if you look at it that way, then he's okay to do what he wants to do, but it's gonna impact his football team. He was on a podcast. I don't know the name of the podcast, and he was asked a question about Shador and Travis Hunter, and he's sitting there projecting where he thinks they're gonna go. Now, there's nothing wrong with the answer that he gave, but in my opinion, I'm giving my opinion. I'm not hating. I just want for 1 second for him to answer a question with a little bit of, humility. Answer the question with a bit of reservation, meaning that you may actually feel that Travis Hunter and Shador are going to be in the top 4 picks, because that's the answer he gave. I think the question that was asked to him was, where do you think that they're going to land in the draft? And he's like, oh yeah, in the upcoming draft, I think they're going to be 1 through 4. They're not going to go past 4. And I understand the reasoning behind that as a coach from many different perspectives. Number one, you want to insert confidence into your players, that to let them know that you believe in them. But I don't think that Shador, his son, or Travis needs any more assurance from coach to feel like coach believes in them. So that's number one. So the answer he gave was actually a psychological response to say that, because we don't know if they're going to be 1 through 4. If Shador plays like he played last year, he's not going in the top 4. He'll be lucky if he makes the second round. Let's be honest. Okay, initially he had the high buzz coming from the HBCUs. He had a hot start to begin the year, then he dropped off. So I mean, no, it's not guaranteed. But I understand why a coach would give that type of answer to motivate his students, his student athletes. Now, with all the motivation that Coach Prime does, in his status, with a man of his status, with a man of his stature, I think that the best thing for him to do at that time would be just to be humble, even though you believe in your team. And let's say you actually do believe that they're going to be 1 through 4 in the draft, right? Let's say that. Just give a plain Jane answer. Look, I don't know what's going to happen in the draft, but I understand that my football team are going to play hard. We're going to give it our all on the football field, and we'll let the chips land where they may. I'm not worried about the draft right now. I'm worried about the upcoming football season and how well we're going to be, and leave it at that. Like, stop projecting. That's what gets him in trouble. That's what gets Coach Prime in trouble. You talk a big game initially, then you write checks that you can't cash. You came in with the Louis Vuitton verbiage. Now you're talking about they're going to be 1 through 4. He sounds like Alonzo LeVar Ball's dad. Like he's in that realm. He's in that spectrum. He doesn't do it as the way Lonzo Ball dad does it, but he does it the same way. Like, he's just like Ball's father was like, yeah, my son's he's going to be better than Steph Curry. His son hadn't even played 1 game in the NBA, and he's already making projections about how great his son's going to be. So Coach Prime he has that daddy ball psyche, and it's hard to unchange that. It's hard to unravel that. You can't change that overnight. The man's in his mid-50s. He is who he is. It's his son, and he looks at Travis Hunter as his other son. So he's going to have these grandiose expectations and these grandiose prognostications about his children's status in the future, of where he think they may land. But I think those are questions that you can avoid. Maybe he's doing it for buzz. Maybe he's doing it so people can talk. But therein lies my reservations about Coach Prime and the Colorado experience, is that a lot of things he's doing, they're not done genuinely as a coach who's actually measuring the temperament of the team and measuring, how the team is gonna move. He's more so worrying about what can I say to grab the attention of the masses, and he knows that. He knows that most of the things that he says is gonna grab a lot of attention from media, and the more attention he can put on himself, the more attention he could put on his personal brand, the more attention he could put on his sons, the more attention he could put on Colorado, just in that order. It's not about Colorado. It's about Prime first. It's about his individual kids, his favorites. Then it's about the football organization. Then the players are just the ancillary parts that are added on to the team to help accentuate his primary goal, which is to get his son into the NFL, and winning is part of it too. But I don't think winning is all of it. Because if winning is all of it, you would be more reserved in how you speak. Now, people may call me a hater and say, "Oh, you're just intimidated by his confidence." I know there's some saying that a lot of people like to echo the same sentiments from Coach Prime when he mentions things of the fact that he says, don't let my confidence affect your insecurities or something to that nature. Look, man, that's nonsense. Nobody's insecure. There's a way to be very confident in your team but still be reserved. It's a matter of respecting the game and respecting the tradition of college football. I'm not saying that Prime can't be who he is. It's not about the way he speaks. It's not about that. It's about what he says. Like, you can't, okay, you know who he reminds me of? He's like the John Calipari of college football. He's a great speaker on the mic. His message gravitates to the younger generation. He's a great recruiter, and he's such a great recruiter that he knows that he does not need to necessarily go to the houses of these young men to recruit them. He said that. That's not his plan. At best, he'll fly them to him, but he's not going to anybody. Because number one, he's not trying to build through recruiting, but he can if he wanted to. It takes a little bit more patience to build through recruiting, building with high school students. He's trying to go the faster route by going through the portal. So with that being said, when we having that already established, you can just look at the mindset of Coach Prime that he's not worried about the rudimentary practices of going through the rigor of what it entails to be a coach. He's already said it. I'm different. I'm not like everybody else. He really believes that. He believes that he's such a big celebrity coach that he can't go anywhere because it's too much of an inconvenience. It may pose security issues or whatever excuses he wants to come up with. But look, man, you're not that big. Like, people know who you are. People my age, but most of the younger kids don't know who you are. They probably have to watch film and watch tapes to understand how great you were. So, again, there's certain answers that he gives. I'm like, dude, just stop talking. Stop talking this big game. But then again, he's a John Calipari of football. He's going to get a lot of talent, but he won't win. So I'm not wishing anything bad for the team. I just know how this works. It's by empirical data. It's by looking at the past experiences of coaches that came before him. Humble coaches who just put their head down, who just put their heads down and just focus on football, they tend to have a little bit more success and structure within the program. Coaches that are all over the damn place, doing interviews here, going here, he's a celebrity. And he just happens to have the best job in the world from his perspective because he's coaching his son. So, I mean, again, the experiment with Coach Prime in Colorado is going to take its it's going to hit its pivot point. It's going to hit its climax once Shedeur leaves. I want to see if he's going to carry on the same way he's carrying on after Shedeur leaves. So that's just my take. I'm not a hater. I hope that they could go out and win every game. But he has to stop talking. He just has to stop the they're going to be number 1 through 4. Like, you don't know that. You don't know that. Just say, look, I don't know. I don't care about the draft. I'm focused on the NFL. I'm focused on the next season. I'm focused on the next practice. I'm focused on the next time we have a meeting. I'm focused on one step at a time, Coach Prime. You know this as an athlete. I'm not telling you anything that you don't know. You're already talking about the draft. You haven't even the season hasn't even started yet. You're talking about where you think they're going to be in the draft. Like, no. They have to win first to actually have scouts respecting your team and the personnel that you put out there on the football field. You have to actually start winning games. It's not about having big names, because we understand that you can have a big name and get to the NFL and then not produce at all. So let's first of all get that clear. So with that being said, Coach Prime just needs to slow it down a little bit. There's nothing wrong with his bravado, with his, bravado and the way he talks. I like that. That's what makes him prime. It's the answers that he gives. That's the problem. And people are going to go back to these statements and say, your mind is not, but he doesn't care. He doesn't care because he's getting paid. His brand is being built. The only thing he needs now is to win. But he doesn't understand that all these things that he's doing to build his brand are acting as the impediment to the ultimate goal, which is to win and to dominate as he says that he wants. Like, it's you're working ass backwards. You're working in reverse. Like, you're doing all these things to build your brand and get more attention on yourself and get more attention on your program. But those things that you're doing is going to hold your team back from winning football games. I would cut out the interviews, man. You don't have to do all those interviews. Just relax. Focus on football. But he is focused on football. That's what he's talking about. No, he's not. He even said it. I'm not a normal coach. He said that. I'm paraphrasing, but he says I'm not a normal coach. I'm doing other things. He's already said that. That's not me hating. That's him telling you what he's doing, and yet you guys will still back him up. When you're a coach of a college football team, that's your job 24. There's no other thing. Yeah, you have your family, you have your other things that you do, but he's literally divided. And with equal amount of exertion of energy in each thing. So when you exert yourself so thin, the end result is nothing when it comes down to the wins and losses on the football field. I just hope this year that the team is more disciplined with less penalties. I just hope that they play physical and hard. And I just hope that they put a good product out there on the field, not blowing big leads or getting blown out. And I do not want to see Shedeur throwing the ball like 50-something times or 40-something times. That's ridiculous, especially when you supposedly improved your offensive line. But then again, we have to ask ourselves the question, was the offensive line improvement put there strictly to help Shedeur pass, or was it put there to help the run, which will help Shedeur pass? There's a difference, because if it helps the run, it automatically decreases the pass attempts from Shedeur. But if it's just to strictly help Shedeur pass, then the pass attempts are going to stay the same way that it was last year, and we're going to end up having the same results that we had last year. All right, thank you guys for listening. All right, bye.